Yo, what's up, it's J6, and today I'm going to be showing you the secrets behind the production on UY SCUTI, Young Thug's new album. I made 3 separate beats, one in the hard styles, like, like trap styles, more like, Ninja, Yuck, fucking told you. That one actually has a beat switch, so it's like a 2-in-1, so you are lucky. The second beat is a more chill, really bouncy beat, like
What they do?
That's like my favorite of the album. I really want to make one like that. And the third beat is one that is a sample, and it's like the second beat on that song with Mariah the Scientist, and kind of like the second beat on Whoop De Doo. Here is the first half of the first beat, and this is really inspired by fucking Told You. Basically, the first thing I did was I made these bell sounds. I used them as a knowledge lead, but I had to bounce them out. And so take the effects off, unreverse it, and yeah, this is what it sounded like from the start. And yeah, what I did was I reversed it. Then I put on this Shaper Box preset swinger. Halftime, Fruity Convolver. This is actually a nice little trick. If you go bang presets, either pick pink or white, and put the dry all the way down, and then mess around with the wet level, and then you can also mess around with the mix. You can kind of make them sounds more spacious, kind of makes them sound more like pads, and yeah, it's really good for those dark, like ambient metro booming beats that Young Thug is rapping on. And then just a little EQ to clean it up, and yeah, created this. And the next thing that I added was this lead from Xenology. So I heard something like that on fucking Told You, and yeah, I thought I would like to include that in this beat. It's just like a profile lead, like a little analog lead. I think it really does help out with like the darkness, kind of like drives the beat, gives it a bit more melodics, because this is like really ambient, there's not a lot of like melody going on. And yeah, speaking of ambience, I added 2 ambient sounds, one from Dune, one from Pigments. It's just to create more atmosphere and make that shit sound darker. And here's where you can really hear the fucking Told You influence. It's a little tubular bell. It's the first pattern, and then the second pattern. And all together. And on this beat, and I actually noticed this in a lot of the beats on UY SCUTI, they don't really use an 808, it's just a simple sub bass. So I just created this one really quickly in Serum. Just a sine, low octave, and a bit of compression. Pretty simple. And that just, I don't know, kind of makes the beat sound a bit smoother. Like, you're not having these fat 808s like the way it is nowadays. It's more like kind of an old school sharp type of beat, and that's what this sounds like all together. And then for the drums, just kept it super simple. Just literally almost straightforward. We have 2 open hi-hats, 1 hitting on each there to start. Little counter snare. And the main snare is literally just on the 2 and the 4. And then I have this little triangle. And then the most important part here, I think, is the rack kick. Just a go-to kick for beats like this. And I think it goes well with the bass. It really gives it that nice bounce for Young Thug to just flow on. But yeah, if you didn't tell, we have a little beat switch. If you spark the tempo up, it stays in the same key, but all I did was make it quicker and add some more instruments, which I will go through in a minute. But yeah, if you don't know how to automate the tempo, it's pretty simple. You just go up to here to your BPM, right click, hit create automation clip, and then you get that, and you can just fuck around until you get your desired tempo. But here's the little transition. And I just did this little thing with the EQ. Just this little way to transition. Don't know, I was just having fun with it, to be honest. Yeah, as you can tell, this part of the beat is really inspired by Yuk and Ninja. And we do use some of the same sounds, like I still use them ambient sounds and the bell and the synth lead. And what I'm adding here is this low bass from Triton, the T-bone and brass oct preset, and this pizzicato strings. I heard that in Yuk. Then these chords of brass. This is just a one shot that I got from a kit. And then choir. I think the choir really does help it just make it sound that much fatter and bigger. I think it really does help out with the beat a lot. Then for the drums, you have two patterns. Here's the first one. The first one is more simple. You know, the hi-hats are straightforward. The only difference is that the clap has a different bounce. Just to switch things up. And you kind of hear it in beats like that. You have some different hi-hats. Little counter snare. And then just for the 808, it's just spins. Pretty straightforward. And the second pattern, or here at the end, this is some triplet rolls on the 808. If you don't know how to do that, you just go up to this little magnet and you can change it to a third, sixth, third step, or sixth step, so you can get some nice triplet rolls going in. I heard them a lot in Yuk. And then just for the hi-hat, I switched it up a bit too. It's kind of straightforward from the start. Then I have just a nice little roll here. And then all here, these are all triplet rolls. And then same with this snare. I added some snare rolls at the end. All triplets. And so I basically have the simple pattern, then the complicated one, and simple and complicated. And that's just the way it is throughout most of the beat. And we introduce some of the sounds here as well. So here's the second beat. This is a really bouncy one. Definitely inspired by Whoop-De-Doo. I'm gonna play it for you now. You can really hear that Whoop-De-Doo and that. So here's the first sound. It's just from Analog Labs. It's just some nice chords. Then the second pattern is the same chords, but it's just it doesn't have like the transition chords, so it's just like the main chords. And this is a pad. Then I just have this little lead. Then some more chords. These are just like stabs. And yeah, the main kind of thing that separates this is the bass. A really kind of fat, metallic kind of bass. It's really really groovy, you know, really punchy and groovy. It really just drives the beat, gives it that nice bounce, along with the drums. I think it just has a beautiful bounce. Yeah, and the drums are also a bit different than your average, like sharp drums. I have this snare. It's from a Snow Strippers kit. It's really like unique one. The hi-hats, I have them playing different pitches. That is a nice little tip to make them super bouncy. And also, if you mess around with the velocity, also helps out with the bounce a lot. Like you can see right here. That one's a bit more quiet. Then the kick with the bass, I think is just a really nice groove. And I just added some perks, like this little rim. It's really, and yeah, these toms I really do like. Because I did think that Whoop-De-Doo had like a little 80s feel to it, so I think these toms really just give it that feel. And just simple opening like that. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this one. And last but not least, I have this beat which I use as a sample, which is heavily inspired by the second half on that song with Mariah the Scientist. I completely forgot what it's called, but the second half of that I really liked. And there's another song that I forgot, and the second half of Whoop-De-Doo. So the first thing I did was I got this sample from Sample.it or Sample.io or whatever it's called. Really good website. You can just pull it in a filter and it pulls out random samples from that filter. So you can put in, for example, gospel, soul, 4/4, C major, and you just get any sample from within those categories. It's really good. I love using it. But yeah, this is the original sample. And then what I did was I chopped it up and pitched it up as well by 300 cents. Just EQ'd it a bit. I really didn't add too much instruments wise. I just added piano, shredding, space notes, some chords, and then when the beat goes on I have literally the same piano but just fatter chords and a bit more high notes. I just have this pad that kind of, makes it sound more full. So it's just playing the same chords, really simple. And for the drums, what I noticed in a lot of beats is that there's a lot of moments when the kick is just playing without an 808 or without a bass. So I really wanted to make sure that the kick was, sounding good and really driving the beat. Because that was where the main bounce was coming from. And then for the hi-hats, I actually used 2 hi-hats. So this is the main one, the Risk hi-hat, just to make it more bouncy. I added it with this MVP hi-hat. Really helps with the bounce. And then really simple for everything else, just 2 and 4 and a little counter snare. That's really it. And then for the 808s, this time I actually did use an 808, but it's barely even an 808. It's more really of a sub, to be honest, like a fat sub. And that's kind of what I noticed with these beats. Like, there's more subs than 808s, and the kick is really the main part. So I'll play that with the kick. And yeah, so as you can see, there's gaps when the 808 isn't playing, which I noticed a lot throughout the album. And yeah, this is what the final thing sounds like. Yeah, anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you did enjoy. If you did, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, comment below what you think. And if there's anything I'm doing wrong, anything I can improve on with these videos, let me know. I'm still pretty new to this shit. But yeah, hit me up on Instagram if you want to work, email, anything like that too. And yeah, thanks for watching. Comment down below any video ideas or anything like that, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.